Hi guys, welcome. Join me for some tea. Hi guys, join me for some tea. I just came back from work and trying to have some tea to. Hi guys, join me for some tea. This tea is spice tea. I think I showed you guys earlier. All kind of spices. I added ginger. I added cinnamon, cloves, cardamom. So I added ginger, cardamom, cinnamon, cloves, and the tea that I used, instead of using black tea, I used mint tea. Okay, and that is with fresh. Welcome and join me. All right, and let's chat. Hey guys, welcome. If it's your first time here, it is Bold TV. This is a storytelling channel, but also I do book review. But now I'm gonna go into details about some of the books that I write, because what I've been doing is I will just complete a book and come, hey guys, I finished this book, I wanna do book review. But moving forward, I'm actually gonna go through with you guys with the process of the book, writing from A to Z or A to Z. That way, if anyone is interested in writing a book, they can just follow my steps, which I don't think most people are interested in writing books anyways. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing moving forward. There's a book that I'm working on, so there are still things that I'm trying to put together, and then I'm gonna come back to you guys and tell you all about it, and then we can proceed getting into the niche of that, get into the mood of writing again, right? But right now I'm still doing other things. Once I'm done, then I will proceed. Right now the book I'm working on is on hold, so I'll revisit that. Now the reason I'm coming back today is it's again I was there is a video that I made, and I was asking if you have been betrayed before, and I made a video about that as well. But what I forgot is that I actually have a book that I wrote about betrayal, and the title of the book is Are You a Loyal Friend? Be True to Yourself. Are you a It's actually a bestseller. It's bestseller on Amazon. It's funny, I didn't realize that I actually wrote a book about betrayals and all that. So yeah, so this is the book, and I should have done some reference to this book, and basically the notion behind it is what we've gathered when writing this book is sometimes we misunderstand, or you misunderstood, or you misunderstand friends, or you misunderstand relationship with people in general, right? What do I mean by that? The misunderstanding in relationship with people, it doesn't really have to be boyfriend girlfriend relationship or husband wife relationship. It's a relationship in general, even with just mere friends, or even a colleague, for example. We reach into conclusion very quickly. For example, the classic example is making assumption that someone is your best friend, not realizing that you are actually a side friend, right? And the reason being, if you don't identify your relationship with someone, right, you're going to make assumption where you belong in their lives, and that's very wrong in so many ways. And I'm going to give you guys a classic example. Sometimes you might have 2 or 3 friends. Because you guys have been friends for a very long time, you just assume that they want the best for you, which is the case. Most people assume that most people want the best for them, but that's not the case. You make assumption that you are best friends. Like, don't just make assumption that someone is your best friend. you guys actually need to agree and actually to come into terms of that relationship. If someone is your best friend, first of all, you need to know why they are getting into that responsibility, because being a best friend of someone is a responsibility. And some of those responsibilities is going to include being responsible for certain piece of information. That means they might tell you information that you are not allowed to share. And you need to abide by it, by that friendship code not to share. Because if you share that information, they're going to say you have betrayed their trust, right? So it's very important to identify your relationship with people. Don't make assumption that because someone is your childhood friend, they are your best friend. That is not the case. You really need to identify, you need to talk to them, you need to ask. Just like you'll ask a boyfriend will ask a girlfriend, I want you to be my girlfriend, I want to be my boyfriend. People need to start asking, can you be my best friend? And this is my expectation in this relationship. But don't make assumption because you've been friends for a long time, you already make assumption that that person is your best friend. And you start sharing information. And some of the thing is, people share information is like, I'm just telling you this in confidence, don't share. But because there are 2 or 3 friends that are all friends at the same time, they assume that, well, because 3 or 4 of us are all friends, so I can share with any of these 2 or 3 friends because it is okay, we are part of the same clique. Wrong, right? So it is a very complicated, it's a very complicated thing, really. So just don't make assumptions. And most of the people that end up saying that so-and-so betrayed me because you misunderstood your relationship with the person. For example, I had a friend, not really my friend, but I told you guys in previous videos that I used to have a big entourage. Back in the day, like in school, I was popular, not for the wrong reason, obviously. I was a bookworm, first of all, and then I was I was a school prefect. At one point, I was a head girl, so I had a huge group of entourage. And most of the people in my entourage are people that want to do well in school. Basically, I don't know who was in charge of that entourage, but if you are part of that entourage, definitely we want you to do well. The move is to improve your grades and all that stuff, right? So most people assume that, okay, because you are so-and-so is friends with so-and-so, they are best friend. And this girl was going through something. She told her friend a piece of information. And that friend told her best friend. He's like, you know what, I'm just telling you this because you are my best friend. And the other friend took the information and told it to her best friend. He's like, you know what, so-and-so said this, but don't share this piece of information. I'm just telling it to you because you are my best friend, right? So they are friends of 4, but out of those 4, they each had best friends. So somehow the information went out. And she's like, wow, guys, I had told this one person this information. How did it get to you? He's like, no, I wasn't supposed to share. I'm telling it to you because you're my best friend. And the other one is saying, well, I told you the information because you're my best friend. That means they did not really underline where the relationship is or where it should start and end, right? And some of the books that I write is actually true life stories, true things that actually happen, true misunderstanding that actually happens. So, and I did tell you guys in the previous video that I did get betrayed, but I'm not really blaming the person that betrayed me. And that is after I wrote this book, I was like, wow. Because I did a little bit of research and I came to understand that, you know what? I made an assumption to think that this person meant this. But in their own view, they looked at the relationship differently. Do I blame them? No, because I should have asked. Or I should have discussed it with them where I want to stand in that relationship. So when someone betrays you guys, try to backtrack first, try to take a back and try to see, hey, How am I in that relationship? Where am I? Where did I stand in that friendship? Right? You will quickly understand that, you know what? You probably made an assumption that so and so is your best friend, but you think because they're your best friend, they don't have other friends. When they look at you as a best friend, they also have other people they consider best friends. And sometimes they might share a piece of information with you, but they might not share other piece of information with you because you are not high in a hierarchy to qualify you to listen to that information, or to get to, basically to listen or to take part in that piece of information. So you have to be, it's very, very important, guys. Try to identify where you stand with anybody in any sort of friendship, whether it is a family, husband, wife, or whatnot. But husband and wife, that one is different. You guys need to have one voice. It's a team, one team. Right? So husband and wife, you guys need to have like a one team, one voice. Right? The moment you find that your spouse is not discussing certain information with you, you need to wonder where you stand in that marriage or in that relationship. Because if they put you out of the hierarchy, that means there is someone that they listen to more than you, and that is a problem in the long run. All right? So very important, identify your friendship and your relationship. Don't make assumption that people, so and so is your best friend, before not realizing that you're probably just a side friend. You're not really the main friend. Right? And that assumption is when sometimes people get betrayed and then they get upset that, oh, someone betrayed them. Well, they betrayed you because, you didn't identify where the relationship is. So they are not loyal to you. A best friend is supposed to be loyal. Best friend is a title that someone needs to earn. So, and it's okay not to have a best friend if you haven't seen people that earned that trust. Right? So just because so many people are having best friend, you cannot also rush that you want to have a best friend. It's a responsibility. And if you're someone's best friend, that's a huge responsibility. It comes with a lot of things attached to it. Loyalty is one of them, very important. And sometimes that loyalty mainly stems on a piece of information. What information you can and cannot share. It's a responsibility. If you're not ready to take part in that type of responsibility, don't be running around to becoming someone's best friend. You can just be their casual friend. It's fine. Right? But you don't take on the responsibility of becoming a best friend, and then you know yourself that you cannot be loyal. You know yourself you cannot keep piece of information. You know yourself you cannot, keep a secret, for example. So if you know yourself in that, don't. And if someone wants to tell you a secret, just tell them, be open, tell them, guys, I'm not really good at telling secrets, keeping secrets. The moment you tell me this piece of information, just know when I start talking to people, it's just going to come out. I'm going to blight out. So let them know that you cannot keep secret. Right? That way, if you were with other people and you somehow start spilling some information that is supposed to be a secret, you can just tell them, I warned you guys. Just make sure you analyze. And it's always good to revisit friendships. People grow, people change. I always say that. People grow, people change. People grow with time, people change. Circumstances change people. Situation change people. Poverty or riches change people. The person doesn't change. It's just the situation. They just start to do things differently. And we say that, oh, so-and-so has changed. It's because circumstance just made them to start doing things differently. And sometimes those circumstances can be good, at times it can be bad. There are people that, used to be really great, upright, very positive, want the best for others. They're always working hard towards their goal and whatnot. And then few years later, you just see like they've let go of themselves. It's like they are done. They are done with the world. They don't want to do anything else. And, they're basically done with the world, right? So there are people that circumstances change them. So if you don't see someone after 10, 15 years, and you guys used to be friends, don't make assumption that if you guys become friends again, things will be different. Or things will be the same rather. In most cases, it's going to be different because you have changed and they have changed. Time changes things, time changes people. Right? So if it is someone that you used to tell secrets 10 years or 15 years apart, if you guys are friends again, you have to be careful what information you share. Until you come to terms to understanding that they are still the same people. Right? Otherwise, you don't need to get into information that, oh my God, so-and-so betrayed me. I can't believe they did that. If you start to analyze things and, being careful in just getting people into your team, if that's the best way of putting it, you will actually avoid a lot of issues and a lot of problems, You'll avoid a lot of issues actually when you do that. So yeah. So next time someone betrays you, think twice. Try to see where you belong in that friendship, in that relationship. See what kind of person that person is and what kind of person were you when you shared certain piece of information or you trusted them with something, right? So, yeah, it's a very interesting world that we live in. And I think I told you guys also in previous videos that what best friend left her child with her best friend while she goes to work overseas, right? Working as a maid overseas so that her best friend can take care of her child. And she's been sending money to the best friend to take care of the 5-year-old. I think, is it 5 or 3-year-old? And the best friend kept saying, yes, everything is fine. We are taking care of your child. But in reality, they were mistreating the baby, the little kid. The best friend and the boyfriend. The friend is sending money from overseas. The best friend is mistreating the little baby. Right? Until I think what was the worst thing that happened was that they ended up selling the little baby in black market. And somehow the friend came back. She was in Saudi Arabia. She came back from Saudi Arabia. She could not find her child. She said she left her child with her best friend. And the best friend sold the child into black market. Right? So do we blame her or do we blame the best friend? What kind of friendship was it? That's why I keep saying you have to really analyze your friendship with people. She thought the girl was her best friend. She went overseas to work and she's been sending money. But her so-called best friend sold her child into the black market. On top of that, according to neighbors, her and her boyfriend were mistreating the little kid. Right? So don't rush into wanting to be best friends with people. It's just a title. The most important thing is you need to know people's hearts. There's this one book that I read in philosophy. I don't remember the name. And one of the main highlights from what I read in that book was someone was saying that human beings are one of the we are worse than all animals in the animal kingdom. I don't know the title of the book. That human beings are the worst kind of animals in the animal kingdom if it was not for law and order. If there was no law and order, human beings are the worst animals in the animal kingdom. I don't remember the title of the book. But that's the point I'm trying to make is you have to be very careful of people. Including some families are even worse than friends. Some parents are worse. Oh my God. I came across a story of a family in West Africa. I can't say exactly where that is. Mom and dad, terrible to their own children. It's crazy. So when it comes to loyalty is very important. When someone entrusts you and you are to be loyal, try to be loyal to people when you can. And also when you betray, you have to open your eyes. Right? So betrayal, I think at least once in your lifetime, you will be betrayed. If you haven't been betrayed, good for you. You will be betrayed. But the most important thing is make sure you are not a betrayer. When people betray you, that's okay. It can pass, but just whatever you do, just make sure you don't betray people. Don't betray people's trust. Don't wrong people. Be kind even though they are not kind to you. Very important. Because karma lives. Karma knows the address of whoever called them. Right? So anyways, guys, that is it for now, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.